So the past couple days I've been working on my flight plan. I rented a Cessna 150 and I'm going to fly about 50-60 miles north of where I live because I got a really unique opportunity to fly in a BD4, which is obviously the plane that I'm building. So I'm getting ready. I need to do a couple more solo cross-country hours, so this is a good excuse to do that. So the flight up was pretty uneventful. Didn't really have much turbulence, just a small headwind. And so here's a quick clip from flying up there. I got some practice with the VORs for navigation, also doing some radio work, talking to a radar flight following, and handed me off several times, and of course talking to people in the traffic pattern at the uncontrolled airport. So it was a nice flight. So now this BD4 is a really nice example of an experimental aircraft. Now this particular one has had a modified cowl put on it, a couple other modifications to make it a little more streamlined and a little more efficient, but overall just a really nice condition. It's quite common for BD4s to have their original wings leak fuel, so this one has actually had its wings rebuilt in all aluminum by the owner with a factory kit. Really nice job's been done on them, and they're really tight wings now. A lot of work done under the hood. It's got a custom-made plenum to make sure everything gets cooled properly. It's got a Lightspeed electronic ignition, which really helps the efficiency. This is a Lycoming 0360 engine, so about 180 horsepower, good power for this size. It's got an aluminum NT propeller and a upholstered interior, and here is the instrument panel. Glass cockpit with a redundant GPS system. So I'm in the BD4 here, about to take a little test flight. This is a really nice plane. Walking around it, you can tell things have been well built, attention to detail. It's got a nice cockpit there, control instrument panel, and upholstered interior, which is nice on an experimental aircraft. So we're going to take a little flight. This will be my first flight in a BD4, so I'll get to see how it handles compared to all the other planes I've flown, pretty much just Cessnas. So here we are taxiing around a little bit. The plane seemed to have just fine ground handling characteristics. It did not take long at all to get up to over 6,000 feet with this plane. Here's a local lake that we're flying over. So right after takeoff, the owner pitched the nose up pretty steep, and I think we were climbing at about 2,000 feet per minute. He went back and forth with the controls, pulling some nice G's in the plane. It's rated for over 6 G's, positive and negative, I believe. So it's a very robust, strong built aircraft. He let me take the controls for a little while, so I got the feel of the plane, and I was impressed with the light feel to them and just how sensitive the plane was in handling overall. It was definitely different than the Cessnas that I've flown. They sort of have this feeling of disconnect between, your control inputs and what the plane's doing. If you've ever flown one, you probably know what I'm talking about. So the BD4 is a nice contrast to that. Alright, so here we are. Had the fun flight in the BD4. It was awesome. What a performer. And finished my pre-flight on the 150. Winds are pretty calm, so that's nice. Might get a little bit of a bumpy ride heading out there. We had some bumps in the BD, but it wasn't too bad. So time to head back home. Fun day.